Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 2,000 point game of my Catachans against some Grey Knights. So opposed to the last one that was kill points, this one is going to be one that I actually have a good chance at facing. So this is Dawn of War, and it's going to be the whole home base thing. Both of ours is going to be this singular Grey Knight model. I borrowed one of my brother's Terminators. He has one of the injured ones he painted up to be a Grey Knight back in his zone. Anyway, for my first starting troops, you can see what my list is. I'm going to have it scrolling up. But anyway, I have two of my blob squads starting with the last cannons, one in the actual building near the objective, one near the center, and then on the left of that in that bunker you can see I have my HQ. And my thinking here is I was trying to draw more of his forces to the center, and really the one that I started in the building, I'm not really thinking they're going to claim my objective. I know something else is going to be coming in. For himself, he started with, he has a Codiez or whatever his name, that special character, so he's in that Chimera. In there is also one of his units that has a whole bunch of different stuff. There's assassins, there's some guys, there's a monkey in there. It's a real mix of stuff. So that's what he's starting with. Nothing that really scares me off the bat. However, he's coming in with two Storm Ravens. He's going to have Terminators in both. One of them is this special character where he can get back up. He has two Dreadnoughts. He's going to have some Purifiers in a Razorback, and he's also going to be having another squad of these kind of like monkeys and things coming in another Chimera. So a real mix of stuff, and we really just have to wait and see how it goes. So his turn one, and naturally nothing really happened because there's night fight and I had all my cover and stuff. I think he killed a couple of models, but the main thing is that he is not really buying my bait for coming in the center. Everything is just screaming towards my objective. The only thing that went back on his side is I forgot to say he also has the Vindicare Assassin, and otherwise his two Storm Ravens are just zipping right up here, and you dropped off their Dreadnoughts along the way, and then that Chimera and that Razorback are following in behind them. So my turn one, everything comes on, and I'm not going to run through what everything is. For the most part, it won't really matter. You should be able to see what it really is, but the main things that's going on here is that I have one squad on the left, one blob squad that's going to be kind of rushing his building. So I mean, with move, they won't be doing so bad. Otherwise, my weapon teams are setting up my heavy bolters to try and shoot his Vindicare if it shows its face. I have my motors all set up to be blasting whatever I need. On the far right, I have one blob squad that's coming in to retake my own objective. The last blob squad, oh sorry, that's all of them. Beside them, the main things over there is two different special weapon squads. The demolition charge ones and the melta-guns are going to be ready to be countering. So it's really just kind of waiting and for him to strike me first, and then I'm going to be able to counter. And really, what else can I do? All my stuff walked on. I do get a little bit done with my shooting. I did my take it down order, knocked down destroyed his his left Storm Raven. So all of his Terminators are out there ready to charge me, but at least that's one thing down. And otherwise, I do some shooting into the other Storm Raven. Didn't manage to really do anything to it. So there you go. So his turn two, his right one flies up, the Terminators pile out, and they all charge into me. And unfortunately, before he does that, he also blasts me with all the template weapons of the Storm Raven, and so that really reduced my numbers, but I did okay in combat. Killed, I think, one of his guys, which for me is fantastic. The other thing is he did some shooting into my unit in the building, and then I decided to, of course, go to ground because he was going to charge me anyway. But because I went to go to ground, he decided that he wasn't going to charge me. He shot up my unit with the demo charges. They're dead. but now those guys are all out in the open, so that's great to me. Otherwise, his other stuff moved up, but not very much. You'd think that his guys in the Razorback could be getting right into me. His purifiers can do tons, but they aren't. And sorry, actually, if you look at the left of the picture, he also has this little squad of 5. It's a heavy choice for him, where they all have these weapons. Where when he passes his test, he doesn't need line of sight and things. Can't remember the name, but they're up there shooting up my middle blob squad. So there you have it. My turn 2, I have both my reserves come in. So here's my Penal Legion, and they have rending attacks this time. So he has this regular Tech Marine, another thing I forgot to say that he has, and I'm really hoping just to rush in there, kill him, and then if nothing else, just distract him enough for my squad to be getting up there. The bad news is that I failed to charge in there. I didn't roll far enough. I needed a 4, just got a 3. So that's really going to suck. Otherwise, you can see my unit is still moving and running up there to try and get into combat. Marbo popped up to go and blast his Terminators, but it wasn't needed. After I shot with everything else, they were all dead. So instead, my guy just kind of turned around, chucked his bomb at the one Terminator, and I think I just rolled a 1. So nothing really. So that kind of sucked. Otherwise, his Terminator is really chopping me up in the very back there, but still holding on. His turn 3, this is a really blurry picture, but really all that happens is on the left, his Tech Marine moves over, flames my guys, roast almost all of them except for 1, so that was pretty painful. On the right here, he kills Marbo, shoots a few more things up, and in combat, I'm really just down to like my officers now. So on my turn 3, my blob squad that was in the building comes down the building and charges in to try and save the day. You can see that his that one black Terminator that's on its side, that's actually that special character one that can get back up, but so far he hasn't. So at the end of my turn, I took down the other Storm Raven. That's great. That one heavy support unit of his is just down to the last guy. On the left, I don't have a picture of it, but I decided not to move up. I just kind of blasted that Tech Marine, because what's happening is that, well, I have his flamer to worry about. He, by now, had sniped out my Commissar, so I can't really rely on him. And his unit had gotten out of the Chimera and was moving over with their flamers. So I really needed to buy myself some time to shoot them up, so I just made sure at least the Tech Marine was gone. That other Storm Raven being destroyed is great. I shot through at the other Dreadnought. One is destroyed, the other one has an arm destroyed, and I keep on trying to damage the Rhino that his purifiers are in, but I just can't manage to get any damage on it. His turn 4, he decides to charge in here with his other troop, with his, couple of monkeys and stuff. I thought it was kind of an odd choice. I mean, sure, they can add in some weight, but really they're just kind of doomed. But, hey, I get to fight some monkeys. And God, here's another crappy picture. But anyway, at the end of this combat, I actually killed both the other Terminators, so they're both screwed. I'm now going to easily beat the rest of his guys next turn. He had rushed up with his Razorback, dumped off the guys. They shot and killed my Melt-A-Gun unit there, but with all my other things here, I'm sure they're going to be dead. So really, looking at how it's looking right now, I'm feeling great. It looks like I'm going to be able to hold my own objective. On his side, he moved his unit up, so I know I can now move up my blob squad and flame them and all this great stuff. The reason why he moved them up is because I was starting to mortar them, and he wanted to get underneath the cover of the building. But, this is looking really good on both objectives. So on my turn 4, I have these guys moving up. You can see now that, the objective I'm trying to get to, I'm still a little ways away, but with a couple of turns, especially with a run after I finish these guys off, it shouldn't be a problem to get there. And with all these flamer shots, and I do the order for first rank fire, second rank fire, these guys are going to be just decimated. And so at the end of the turn on the left side, he's just down to his monkey and Cordias. My blob squad went and destroyed the rest of his troop unit over here, so that's fantastic. My ratlings got to really shine, and they went and just ripped up those purifiers with some other fire. They're all dead. Shooting against the one Razorback only managed to destroy a weapon, but with all my heavy weapons here, I'm not too worried about it. His turn 5, this really surprised me. He sends his monkey back to hold his objective, and then Cortez and his assassin move up and they charge me. And, I'm a little bit worried here because even though I have a lot of attacks, he's pretty hard to hurt and hit. And, if I fail, I'm not stubborn anymore. And then on this side, he decides to do a tank shock with his Razorback. I do a stand and shoot with my last gun, or last cannon. I destroy the other weapon, so I get run over. And then his Terminator, that Paladin Thorn or whatever his name is, gets back up and charges me. So that's not good. So end of his turn, it looks like this. He actually had a Dreadnought on the right that was trying to get into combat as well, but when he shot, I took the one guy out he could charge. Didn't manage to actually kill his one wound Terminator, which I guess I shouldn't be expecting to do, so I'm all being held out in there. And on the left, it was kind of a big fail. He actually killed nothing of mine, and then in return, he killed one guy of mine, and in return I did a wound to each of them. So now each of them just has one wound left. Cortez had taken another wound from that big rapid fire moment, so I just really need to break through so I can get to the objective, but at least on my side, things are looking pretty good. So my side of 5, over here, I managed to destroy the Terminator. I kind of make a line so that, if that Paladin Thorn gets back up again, he can't get through, blocking off the Dreadnought. And my one other squad came over to make sure that I'm holding this, my objective. But the thing that really just sucked is that I threw a ton of shooting into this Rhino here, and I was not able to destroy it. So there you go. He's contesting my objective still. And then finally on this side, when he's attacking me, first it was funny, his assassin does 3 wounds to me. You can see my 666s there. I rolled for armor saves, so that was kind of funny. But in the end, I just couldn't kill any of them. Just failing to hit, failing the wound, or him making his armor saves. So I lost combat, luckily held, but man, I'm just getting stuck up here. But as fate would have it, I was trying to heavy bolter this monkey. I shot some missiles at him. All my mortars I shot at him. Everything failed, or he made his cover saves, blah, blah, blah. And the game ended. So this silly monkey is holding this objective. Mine's contested, so he wins the game. So victory to the Grey Knights, and it's a little bit disappointing to lose something like this, where it was looking pretty good for me, and then because of a monkey, I lost. But at the same time, it was a great game where it wasn't like my last one against Blood Angels, where I'm just getting my butt kicked the whole time. It's a whole bunch of back and forth where it looks like everything's fine, then he kind of breaks through in areas, and in the end, I lost to a monkey. That's something worth remembering about, right? This is a game where we're like, oh yeah, remember when you lost to that monkey? Ha ha ha. It's one of those things that you're going to really remember. So a great game. Really glad I had it. And this is the first time I've ever seen one of these Jokero in a game. And look what happens. He wins it. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye.